I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, 24 years of this exceptional film festival. It's one of the biggest of its kind in the United States. It's such a gift to be here and connect with amazing people. Some here for the first time, and some have been here for years, including our next guest, John Graaf. He's a legend here at Wild and Scenic. In fact, there's even an award named after you, John. And last night, Maggie received that award. We spoke with her yesterday. You're back here at Wild and Scenic. It's always wonderful to see you. And your film is From Sea to Shining Sea.
Yeah, and I'm a walking propaganda.
You are. Look at that. And we need that right now, by the way. And your film is it Catherine Lee Bates?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And she wrote
America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful. Which I think, and you mentioned this in the film, a lot of people think, why isn't that our anthem?
Well, I'm one of those people.
You are.
I think a lot of people have a misconception of what this song is about, and that's one of the things I think we try to change with the film. I think people on both sides of the political fence, most people think that America the Beautiful is some kind of rah-rah, America first, rah, patriotic song. It is everything but that.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
It is a critique of American society. Brandi Carlile, who sang the song beautifully at the Super Bowl just a couple of weeks ago, Brandi I'd seen the film, and she gave a press conference before the Super Bowl, and she said, described the song as a prayer, not a boast. And that's just, in so few words, that's a perfect description of what America the Beautiful is. It's asking us to become a better country, asking God to help us do that, to live up to our ideals of peace and justice and caring for each other, to match the beauty of the land. It is not a boast about how cool America is at all.
Well, you've done a lot of films, John, so what was it about this? Why did you feel like this is the time, I want to talk about Catherine, I want to tell the story about this song?
Well, I've thought about this film for quite some time, and actually it was a colleague of mine, Larry Cotton, who worked with me on the Stuart Udall film, which was here a couple of years back, who said, well, now we're done with Stuart, now you should really do the America the Beautiful film. And I didn't really realize quite at the time how appropriate this would be with the 250th anniversary of the country, and also with the current relevance of the film. I talk about that how this film gets sung pretty much at all presidential inaugurals, but it was quite ironic that it was sung of course, at Donald Trump's inaugural, and that he even kind of danced to the music, and then he immediately followed this song talking about how wonderful President William McKinley was, his favorite president, and talking about annexing Greenland, Panama, and Canada even. Well, the whole third verse of this song, America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, was a response to the Spanish-American War and to Bates's abhorrence of William McKinley and the imperialism that America was involved in the Spanish-American War. So what an irony.
Wow, you must know this by heart. I'm assuming you know the song by heart?
Oh, I think so.
You should.
I'm not going to sing it for you, but you wouldn't want that, believe me.
Well, and it's beautiful. Not only do you include the naturescape of our beautiful country, but then you weave in through this the story of Catherine Lee Bates, and her journey really from a young child when she's 5 and remembers, with Lincoln being shot.
Right.
And so you weave this into it. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why you chose to incorporate her story and what she was experiencing, and how that bred into this film and also the song that
Well,
you
I like
created?
to tell personal stories,
Yeah.
and I like to tell stories about how the times that one lives in and the situation influences how we behave and how do we respond to our era. It's one thing that upsets me when people start looking at something somebody said 150 years ago and attack them for that without realizing that they're in a context, and that, as all of us are, that we need to be judged on how we were in our time, whether we were progressive for that time, not not 150 years ago, where they got everything that we currently think. And Catherine was a person whose life, she used her art and her teaching as a professor at Wellesley College and all of these things to respond to the events of the day, the Gilded Age, the gap between rich and poor,
the Depression,
the Spanish-American War, the Depression, her experience at the World's Fair of 1893 in Chicago, the Columbian Exposition, where she saw this great white, thine alabaster cities gleam, this great white city, that was there. Thousands of people came to, and next to this city was a horrible slum where Jane Addams had her Hull House, a settlement house. And Catherine wrote about that, and she says in the last verse of the song is, thine alabaster cities gleam. It's a reference to that Chicago fair, undimmed by human tears, because when she was there, the human tears were all around.
Right.
The fairgoers might not have seen them, but if you stepped out a few blocks away from that great extravaganza, you saw all these people hungry and starving and living in horrible tenements and conditions.
Yeah, and her experience too, she traveled across the country. She even traveled around the world. She was in Egypt, you reference in there, in Europe. And it is important to know the context. John, you've been a conduit in telling the stories of phenomenal people for so long, and also incorporating the wild world too, and how that's significant and interconnected in our lives. What is it that drives you personally right now? Like that personal flame that keeps you going in this? I bet you're working on something else right now. What is that for you?
Well, you sort of set me up. So I'm now working on my fifth last film.
Your fifth last film?
Yeah, the America the Beautiful was my fourth last film.
Okay.
My first last film was about Nevada City. It was called Redefining Prosperity, about this town.
Yeah.
And then I did one on co-housing, and then the Udall film, and then this film, and my current last film is called Econoclast, and it's the story of an economist named Herman Daly, who started the discipline of ecological economics and was really one of the first economists to seriously challenge the whole idea of economic growth as being the measure of progress, which now it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, everybody wants to grow the economy faster and doesn't realize that in fact that's going to kill the planet.
Right.
So this is a story that says, we got to take care of this place we are, and we can't just grow and grow and grow. We don't have the resources. We're dealing with global warming. We're dealing with all of these kind of unforeseen impacts of this economic growth. And so that's what I just think. I want to change our values so it's not about stuff. It's not about money and wealth. It's about community and caring, and also respect for the other species that we share this planet with.
Well said. Well said. That's your fire.
That's my
Making
fire.
the world a better place.
Yeah, and I
in that
started
sense.
just by loving the environment. I grew up in San Francisco. I spent a lot of time in the Sierra in the summers backpacking and hiking, and just came to love the mountains and nature. And so while my life took me in other directions in addition to environment, that's always been a passion for me.
Well, thank you, John, for being an integral part
Thank you.
of Wild and Scenic. It's always wonderful to see you and hear what you're up to next. And thank you for sharing these stories that are so important to shaping our culture. I wonder 100 years from now what people will be, they'll be tapping into these archives to understand how and why we did what we did.
Hopefully we'll still be around 100
We'll
years from now.
see. I mean, you look at, you look at, but I mean, we're a species like any of the other living creatures.
Yes.
And so I was mentioning just to see the resilience and the capabilities that we have to survive and thrive. And it's just knowing, what the essence is of that. And I think it really is, like you said, community.
And this is a
That's a
great
vital
one. And
part.
I love this festival, so I want to make clear how wonderful I think Nevada City and this festival is, what a great pleasure it is for me to come down here most years. And
Well, you're
see
wonderful,
folk
John.
again. So thank you so much.
Yeah, a pleasure, a pleasure. From sea To Shining Sea. Brandy Carlisle just sang it recently, like you said. Thank you so much, John, for being part of the festival, and thank you for being connected with us here at the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge. Come enjoy it. Join us even tomorrow night. We have Locals Night. It's a fun night. We highlight some of the award-winning films. Circle also archives a lot of the films, so if you're just catching this weeks later and you're thinking, I missed that, nope, you can still catch it, or maybe even at a tour. Wild and Scenic tour around the country. Wherever you are, we hope this inspires you to make a difference and connect in with your community. I'm Elisa Parker. It is the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Elisa.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
Let's